masterclass or man possessed, legend confirmed or denied. This is no given for the Swiss magician. There is a free-swinging Frenchman in his way. Precision versus prowess. Control versus chaos. Refinement versus rangy and often raw. Federer, Tsonga, in the semi-finals of the Australian Open.
I'm always able to deliver, a Grand Slam play.
It's good to have experience, but for that you have to win, you have to play. Roger have experience because he won 15 Grand Slam, but he won the first one, without experience.
Tsonga, I think I've only played twice. He's a dangerous player, very athletic, obviously.
I have to play my best tennis. I will give everything, and we will see.
It starts off pretty even. Their forehands are different, but I'm going to give them 2 checks each. The backhand, same thing. Very even, different backhands. If anything, Fed's a little more versatile. 2 checks each for the serve. Tsonga has a bigger first serve, but for me, Fed has a much better second serve. The return, this is the big advantage. 2 checks for Fed, and Tsonga has the worst break game of any player in the top 15. The volley game, I'll give 2 to Fed, 1 to Tsonga. The speed, you know what? To me, Tsonga's a better defensive mover, Fed the better offensive mover. Now, the big one down at the bottom, 3 checks on the intangibles for Mr. Federer, none for Tsonga. Only 1 Frenchman in his career.
Well, Darren knows, Chris, about this Australian crowd.
And they got tight again in the 4th set. So it hasn't been quite as routine as you expect.
I like that play. Got those soft hands.
Majors with various injuries. Nice shot by Tsonga as Federer approached that dipping cross court. Good sign for Federer. He's got the first serve rhythm ever, 5-setter. And then the wacky match against Djokovic when he was down, but Novak got sick to his stomach in the 4th set. 2 big first serves to wipe away break points.
Well, he's going to need that. Oh, beautiful. It's devastating, but look what he does with the ball here. Look at the racket work. That is just brilliant control.
A little different start than the Davydenko match.
Look how quick. You see how fast Federer's. I mean, watch how quickly he reacts to this one. Look at those first couple of steps. I mean, that's incredible. And then he slows himself down. So when people aren't watching him, that's when he makes those sort of aggressive, violent moves. Oh, come on. That's insane. Look at this angle. We saw Murray hit just a ridiculous shot last night from around the net post. And this time Federer just says, all right, I'll hit it over the net. Look at that control.
Darren, Tsonga talks about being in is the big weapon, but it's also the side most likely to his game.
He's come out ready tonight. Oh, beautiful.
That's the shot he gets away with. You know, if he can get away with that short ball to the backhand side, Roger's game relaxes so much.
Federer lost his footing there.
Good game, much better game there.
Tsonga mixing things up, tried a couple of looping.
To be the very same frame that Rafa uses. It's shinier.
Well, you talk about going to school, Chris, and you're exactly right in part. No, that's just unreal there.
5-2 for the wicked forehand wing of Federer on display early. Darren, good point. Set point 2. One of those nights when the movement is great even by his standards. Federer in a half hour tucks away the opening set. And this a male streaker in the court when Venus and Serena were playing doubles the other year.
Right.
Slow the Federer freight train.
Yeah, it's in full flight at the moment. Not making any local
Needs
stuff.
to. That'll help.
And serve. Joe Willie's filling the...
No, 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 no.
That's what Lacan's saying.
That's right.
Right now in that box on the court.
Yep.
40-30.
Changed up.
A lot of interviews to do after his matches. Gets away with that one.
Yeah, Federer a little too. Pourquoi? Why?
What he's thinking about.
He's just not thinking out there at the moment. Also, I'm not sure if you picked it up about 6 times, even on his service action, he's gone to start serving and then stopped. It's like he's lost the rhythm even on his serve.
No. He's just toying with him there.
Little dink forehand. Serve. Wow. Not a slow man. So you wonder, is it tension which can slow you down? Is it the 2-5 setter? Something new for him as he kind of grabs for his abdominal there.
Maybe it's...
Now that's a drop shot. That's how you do it.
2% of the first serves.
Beautiful little drop volley. Got to that quickly.
Abdominal muscle. Well, Federer's coming in for the kill now.
Aggressive point from Federer. He took a rip at the return. That's a nice pass, but it's almost desperation time. 9th point lost on serve all night for Federer.
Again, going back behind him. The line. But Federer's just ready. I mean, he's just prepared for anything. And he's totally... Unbelievable footwork.
You're playing an XO. It's all coming unraveling for Tsonga. He'll challenge. Doubles tend to come at inopportune times.
Well, that's good.
Each set taking exactly 30 minutes. Added up is one of the finest hours Federer has produced at the Australian Open.
His rhythm.
Serving at just 52%.
And Tsonga's just been so slow to react. It's just...
Made it to the final here, had various knee injuries. In fact, he had a herniated disc, which doctors told him at the time had less wear and tear.
Well, he has that big frame, and he's a thick guy. So
Over on ESPN from Aspen. Oh, wow.
Enough on this approach. And look at all the time Federer has. Not rushed at all. One. Oh, beautiful.
That wasn't a bad lob. Just flicked away. Now, wanting to kill any chance of Tsonga getting momentum by holding serve deep into the set.
Yeah, he wants to end this now.
Federer. Itself now.
And the chances of Roger Federer.
The third set last summer.
Oh, man. Well, this is Federer's 11th service game. In those 11 service games, he's lost 11 points.
If you're going to break, you better bunch them together. There's not many over.
Well, I actually did do it before the actual match.
Okay.
So, and mine wasn't as interesting as BG's. Mine got buried, but I gave the forehand to both guys. Obviously, Roger Federer's forehand's better tonight. The backhand I definitely gave to Federer. The serve, I gave it to Federer and Tsonga. I think Federer's second serve is much better than Tsonga's. The return definitely to Federer. In fact, I gave everything to Federer.
I can see why.
My tail of the tape had a tick on the Federer side all the way through. Just keep it going, guys, all the way through. I just think he's got him covered in every aspect of the game. There are parts of Tsonga's game that are very good, but Federer had him.
Best of 5 route like this.
It breaks down. This is a showtime now.
You feel there's definitely something wrong.
And every time he stretches up to make a serve.
He's just trying to finish the match now.
To his credit,
Bounce back.
against Murray last night. Oh no.
Federer.
Certainly respect, but not affection by any stretch.
Federer.
No energy to speak of tonight.
No.
For a Grand Slam semi. Murray has an extra day's rest. This is the major that splits the semis. And
major final against Federer. I think that's huge. I don't think the extra day is... Yeah, look at that.
wow.
40-30
Slap. Tsonga will at least why not? Let's finish it at the net with a backhand volley. Now, Patrick, you thought we might get it at Wimbledon with the electric cap. More satisfaction than the jubilation. He came in prepared for a fight, and he got instead a nice light hour and 28-minute sparring session, fresh for the final.
Well, one of the great things about Federer is that he always comes prepared for a fight, Chris. I mean, that's what's won him a lot of matches. He didn't need to fight tonight. He had everything clicking from the start and bring his best stuff tonight. But I'm so excited for this final, Chris.
So the match that Murray wanted, maybe the match that Federer wanted. As Brad said, if Murray's going to win major titles in his career, Federer says, not on my watch. We'll talk about Federer and Murray in the championship match 48 hours from now. We come back live from Melbourne.
How he got there. Dropped the first set of the tournament. Very strange for him. Andreev.
And he faced 3 set points in that second set, or the third set. He could have been down 2-1, and then he had cruise control until the quarterfinals.
And that very strange match against Davydenko, where he dropped the first set, almost was down 2 breaks in the second, until he flipped a switch. And it just speaks to how difficult it is to beat Federer.
Well, Roger, a semifinal of a major is going to be a big test, and today you really came out and played about as well as I think you can play. Did that feel as good as it looked?
Yes, I mean, I'm very happy, you know. You always in tennis, got to deal with how the opponent plays, and sometimes he plays exactly the way you want. Sometimes, you know, you battle through tough in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you get the break you're looking for, and things change dramatically, and that was a little bit how it was today. Same thing happened last year, was against Del Potro, actually. So it's nice, obviously, going through a match like this, but I obviously already know now, right after the match, the next match I'll play against him won't be this way.
Well, I think Joe was a little tired, clearly. He had a couple of tough matches coming into this one, and I think that, was that something that you were keyed on, get on top of him early and just try and make him feel even more fatigued?
Well, I just think against top players, it's always a huge bonus if you can win the first set, you know, because then after that, it always gets more difficult, you know, once you're down. But I actually thought he did really well in those 5-set matches, and I expected him to come out here and be really like athletic the way we know him. You know, I think the beginning was tough. I thought it was very intense, and you know, maybe just for him, he was mentally more fatigued than maybe physically, I thought, and that showed maybe a bit at the end. It was unfortunate for him.
Well, we talk a lot about your game. We talk about all your shots and your experience. One thing that is probably overlooked is your fitness. It takes great physical strength and stamina to do what you do out here and make it look easy. Do you train really hard in the off season? Can you give me any tips, anything you can talk about?
No, it's all talent. That don't work. I just sit on the couch. Take care.
Now you've really upset me.
You thought you had something going, right? That you were one of those, like was Lendl, that made us generation work hard. Not with me, anyway. I didn't get inspired. No. All I do is really just take care of the kids. That's all I
do. Well, last year, that makes me feel even worse, by the way. Thanks. Last year was a very special year for you off court. We talked about that earlier, about the kids, about how you're a diaper specialist now. But it was also a fantastic year for you on court. What stands out for you? You accomplished a lot last year. What stands out from on court in 2009?
All the hard work I put in,
On the couch with the kids?
Yeah. No, just to get back, I do work hard in the off season, just so that's clear. But no, I think it's so hard to pick. Is it the French? Is it Wimbledon? I just think the French Open really sort of relaxes my mind. Knowing that I can come to the French Open from now on and enjoy it. I mean, not that I didn't before, but I just a touch more now. Because I won't get asked a silly question: are you ever going to win the French Open? Is your game good enough?
All you had to do was ask me.
Well, I thought you were gonna, maybe write a letter, or give a call, or you didn't, and I'm still waiting, by the way. But now I don't need it anymore. No, I think it's the French Open, more on an emotional level. Wimbledon was just amazing, playing in front of, Rod Laver, Bjorn Borg, Pete Sampras, all the legends that were there. McEnroe, I think, was there as well, and were you there too, or not?
On television, watching.
Watching it. Yeah. No, so it was just a very, very special moment for me in my career, and I don't know, it was amazing. I don't think I'll ever go through such an emotional year ever again like last year, so it was a dream come true.
Well, you have something that you haven't achieved yet that you can achieve here in a couple of nights that not too many guys have achieved. You have the opportunity to win a major as a father. Talk about that.
Sure, that'd be nice, but...
Be nice.
I won't say no if Andy Murray decides now, all right, he's a nice guy, Rog, he's a father, and let's... I won't say no. But I know that he'd like to win the first for British tennis since, 150,000 years, so...
I'd like to say hello to all of our friends at the BBC now. Would you like to wave to the BBC now?
No, that was more, to think of Andy, the poor guy who has to go through those moments over and over again, that, it would be so nice for him to win and everything, but he's done tremendous, so I'm looking forward to a great final. He's a nice guy, and we match up well together, so I expect a tough one.
Well, what are the keys to the match for you against Andy?
I think aggressive, the way I usually always play. We've had some very different type of matches against each other where, we try to joke around each other, around the court, or just loop the ball in or play really aggressive. So I think it's very tactical always against him. From my side, I'll play very aggressive, Andy, if you're listening. I'll come in on your backhand, you'll pass me, I'll drop shot you, you'll lob me, I'll hit it through the legs. And so it's going to be something like that.
Well, that sounds pretty good to me. You're through to the final here again. I think it's your 22nd major final, which is, of course, a record, another one. So congratulations. We'll see you Sunday night.
Roger, a great match, a perfect way to go into a final.
Sure, no wasted energy, that's for sure. I'm very surprised, obviously, how the match went. I expected quite differently, I mean, he's got such great potential, and I'm sure we'll see much more of him. But tonight maybe was one of those days where he needed that first set so badly, and maybe after that he sort of just let his head hang a bit and was a bit disappointed, and I took advantage of it badly, so I'm very happy.
No, you really did. Did you notice he was actually touching his stomach, abdominal muscles there at the start? No, because you got off to a great start early in the second set. It looked like a little pace came off the serve.
Well, the thing is with him, I've seen many times in the past that all of a sudden he doesn't serve so hard. He can serve 135s, 140 miles. you know, and the next thing you know is like he's just tossing in 120s, you know, just because he doesn't need to serve harder sometimes, you know. So I just thought it was a tactical thing. And sometimes it's a good thing not knowing that he's maybe just fine and you don't know about his injuries and stuff. So like him yesterday with Djokovic, or 2 days ago, it wasn't so easy for him either. So or that was actually Murray, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, I'm happy I played it just through. I played solid. I did nothing exceptional. It was just nice.
Last year, you had 2 days off going into the final. Then you played that magnificent 5-set final against Rafa. This time it's more traditional, and we're a bit of a creature of habit, tennis players. So 1 day off, more normal preparation going into the final. Do you think that helps you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters at this stage. I've seen too many things, you know, to be worried about. 1 day off, 2 days off, no days off. You know, at the US Open, we don't have a day off. Last year, I had 2 days off. This year, I have 1 day off. This is more the normal, like you say. I mean, at the French Open, it's this way. At Wimbledon, it's this way. And at the Australian Open, you have a 50% chance that it's this way. And I think it's nice. You know, I have no injuries that need to heal maybe in 1 or 2 days. So I feel like 1 day is perfect. And off we go against Murray. It's going to be a tough one.
Well, it's the final everybody's been talking about, Andy Murray against yourself. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised he made it through to the finals. I thought it could be one of those years he's going to make a break, and I think he did that by beating Rafa and then making it through to another final. Now the question is, can he go all the way? I mean, he's got loads of expectations, but I think he's actually handling it very well. You know, I mean, he's just a regular guy who knows he plays good tennis and he can beat the best. You know, so he'll definitely come out there believing he can beat me. He's beaten me, I think, more than I've beaten him, so that will help him. But usually in Grand Slam play, he knows it can be a bit different. But I think the start's going to be crucial. Also, I hope he hopes too badly to win the first set, and then maybe he lets his head hang again. But we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about the match.
So you believe the first set is crucial for you?
I think more for him than for me, just because of him never having won a Grand Slam before. But I mean, yeah, what was it? Yesterday when he played against Cilic, that's right. I mean, he lost the first set, came back and cruised, you know, at the end. So that shows now that he's really become a good champion. And you know, we have always a very tactical matches, so it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses and what I choose.
Yeah, talking about the tactical match against Rafa, he came out and he was very offensive. Yeah. Yesterday against Cilic, quite defensive. Yeah. Do you expect him to be more about the type of Rafa match, be more offensive against you?
Yeah, I don't know. He's never played overly offensive against me. You know, he's usually just sort of keeping the ball in play and just being really tough. I mean, he's one of the greatest returners we have in the game right now. You know, so you know that usually keeps him in the game. And then if he serves well on the first serve, then it's anyway tough to break him because he's so tough off the baseline. But I think against Rafa, that was a unique Andy Murray we saw. I don't think that's something he usually does because Rafa was really struggling by picking Andy's serve, whereas Cilic yesterday returned him actually quite easily there for 3 sets almost. I was quite surprised, but I don't know. I mean, I expect him to play sort of medium tennis. You know, not too aggressive, not too passive, but just on the right points. And same thing for me.
We got 48 hours to go back and think about it a little bit. 22 major finals, incredible performance.
Thanks very much. It's
good luck.
Thank you.
And that's just about where he is.
Masterclass. Or man possessed. Legend confirmed. Or denied. This is no given for the Swiss magician. There is a free-swinging Frenchman in his way. Precision versus prowess. Control versus chaos. Refinement versus rangy and often raw. Federer, Tsonga, in the semi-finals of the Australian Open.
I'm always able to deliver, you know, at Grand Slam play.
It's good to have experience, but for that you have to win, you have to play. Roger have experience because he won 15 Grand Slam, but he won the first one, you know, without experience.
Tsonga, I think I've only played twice. He's a dangerous player, very athletic, obviously.
I have to play my best tennis. I will give everything and we will take.
It starts off pretty even. Their forehands are different, but I'm going to give them 2 checks each. The backhand, same thing. Very even, different backhands. If anything, Fed's a little more versatile. 2 checks each for the serve. Tsonga has a bigger first serve. But for me, Fed has a much better second serve. The return, this is the big advantage. 2 checks for Fed, and Tsonga has the worst break game of any player in the top 15. The volley game, I'll give 2 to Fed, 1 to Tsonga. The speed, you know what? To me, Tsonga's a better defensive mover, Fed the better offensive mover. Now, the big one down at the bottom, 3 checks on the intangibles for Mr. Federer, none for Tsonga. Only 1 Frenchman in his career.
Well, Darren knows, Chris, about this Australian crowd.
And they got tight again in the 4th set. So it hasn't been quite as routine as you expect.
No, I like that play. Got those soft hands.
Majors with various injuries. Nice shot by Tsonga as Federer approached that dipping cross court. Good sign for Federer. He's got the first serve rhythm ever, 5-setter. And then the wacky match against Djokovic when he was down, but Novak got sick to his stomach in the 4th set. 2 big first serves to wipe away break points.
Well, he's going to need that. Oh, beautiful. It's devastating, but look what he does with the ball here. Look at the racket work. That is just brilliant control.
A little different start than the Davydenko match.
Look how quick. You see how fast Federer's. I mean, watch how quickly he reacts to this one. Look at those first couple of steps. I mean, that's incredible. And then he slows himself down. So when people aren't watching him, that's when he makes those sort of aggressive, violent moves. Oh, come on. That's insane. Look at this angle. We saw Murray hit just a ridiculous shot last night from around the net post. And this time Federer just says, all right, I'll hit it over the net. Look at that control.
Darren, Tsonga talks about being in forehand is the big weapon, but it's also the side most likely to his game.
He's come out ready tonight. Oh, beautiful.
That's the shot he gets away with. You know, if he can get away with that short ball to the backhand side, Roger's game relaxes so much.